a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me as always is Ben Slinger.
Yes, I am.
And our Guestapalooza continues this week.
Yes. This week we have Justine Colla from Alta, a VR game design company. You're based in Sydney, is that right, Justine?
Yes. And hello.
Hi.
So I'm a co-founder and CMO of Alta. So that's my big official title, but what I mainly do is marketing and community stuff. And we're currently developing a Township Tale, which is a social VR multiplayer, an open world title. It's really exciting for us because we honestly haven't seen anything else like it in VR currently. And it feels really awesome to kind of be creating something that might be on like the precipice of being innovative. And I'll explain the game a little bit. Pretty much you spawn in an abandoned village and you take on roles to fulfill a society within that world. So what would happen is Ben would find a very basic pickaxe, go up to the mining area, collect some materials, and then comes back to where Trevor is hanging out about in the town in his blacksmithery. And so Ben says, hey, I have all this material. I can't do much with it anymore, so I'll give you all of it if you make me a new pickaxe. And Trevor says, yes, I'll do that. And the amount that has been bartered, Trevor makes your new pickaxe, which means that but Ben can go back out and mine even more stuff, better quality like iron or something like that. And then, but because of the way that the bartering system works is that there's extra resources left over for Trevor. And then, so for example, me, if I'm an explorer, I'll come in and I'll say, hey, I really need it. My sword broke. I need to get it fixed or get a new sword. And I have this really amazing jewel that I found out in I don't really know what it's worth, but I find that, you might be able to use it. And then because Trevor has all these resources from Ben already, says, yes, I can fix that for you. And I will take that gem and use it for, I don't know what. We had a really great conversation with someone earlier today. We always ask everyone who has either played it or has heard about it. And we always just say, if you could be anything in this world, like what role would you be? And they said that they would love to be like not only a blacksmither, but like an inventor, like an engineering kind of role. And it was just like really interesting because we always get really interesting answers.
So now you have to add full-on crafting, what's that other VR game where you build the contraptions? I think it's Fantastic Contraptions. So now you have to add that sort of stuff in there so people can actually invent things.
Well, hopefully it'll be extremely sandbox in that regard.
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping.
Sounds really cool. Like, I didn't realize that it was that sort of that level of social interaction. From what I'd seen of it, it was sort of a bit more... I knew it was multiplayer and different people were doing different things, but yeah, that's really cool with the sort of the bartering system and that you take on a specific role. It's not sort of Minecraft where everyone's just going out and doing the same thing and mining and whatever,
So will you also have like a sheriff or something like that?
Absolutely. The sheriff would work a lot. The sheriff would work a lot like the guard. So not only making sure the town is safe from possibly monsters that might come in from the outside, but also being like the role in the town where people need to go to. It's like, hey, he was doing this thing, he's griefing me, and you're like, all right, guys, we gotta sit down. Let's go to the inn, have a couple beers, and we'll just figure this out.
And then later on, you have to solve that murder or something like that.
Well, the great thing about what we want to do is it's a lot like Counter-Strike or Minecraft in that way where 80% of the actual interaction in game is the social aspect. So what our role as Alta, the company, like our goal is to make a really, really solid framework of the game and then open that up to modders so they can come in and they can create passive servers, role-playing servers, challenge servers, all these kind of different amazing servers that we don't have the capacity to make right now, or let alone the creativity, whereas opening it up to like, I've just seen the most amazing fan-made servers, especially in Minecraft. Like some of their MMO servers are just insanely good.
Oh, I'm always blown away by the things that people do with Minecraft. I look at it and go, how is that even possible in that game to create that? It's just crazy.
I know, absolutely. And I think that's the great thing about how our industry is shifting, because my boyfriend is a Dota 2 workshop artist, and he's been doing that for about 4 years now, just full time. And it is so amazing that you can do this.
Yeah, that job can even exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
you can make a living from it.
There are some people who don't really like working in a team, and there are some people who would like really, especially if you're in a very, very remote area. Like, I'm friends with a guy on Facebook who's like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in like Norway, but is like the most amazing like visual designer I have ever seen in my life. And it's just like his ability to actually make money and survive, but still enjoy where he's living, is just like such a beautiful thing.
That's awesome. Cool.
So yeah.
Well, the game looks great. Hopefully I'll get to try it out sometime. You were at PAX this year, I think.
Yeah, we were at PAX 2016, currently 2017.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Our plans for this year regarding events is we'll be at RTX Sydney, February 4th and 5th. Then I myself personally is going to be at GDC, and we'll probably be demoing the game out of our hotel room because it's very expensive to actually exhibit at GDC. We're not at that level yet. We're still a very new company. Hopefully it's probably won't happen, but I'm hoping that we, because PAX East is the next week after that. I'm hoping we might be able to get there, but it's kind of a bit iffy at the moment. But we'll definitely be at GX Australia. I think that's the beginning of April. I can't remember the exact date. And then we'll definitely be at PAX Oz again in November. Yes, that's what it is.
I don't think they've announced dates yet. All right, well, I think we might get into our game of Click Pitch, which for those listening who might be new to the podcast, this is where we each have a random word generator in front of us. And we're gonna count 3, 2, 1. We're all gonna click, and then based on what we get, we're gonna come up with a game based on that. Some idea that might be funny. It might just be a really cool game idea. Who knows?
It might be dark as anything.
It might be terrible, in which case we'll probably edit it out.
No pressure.
3, 2, 1, click. Characteristic.
Mine's goddess.
Ooh.
And what's yours there, Justine?
I got terrorizing. And the reason why that's funny is because, as you'll find out, I am a massive pro wrestling fan, and Triple H's original gimmick was a character called Terrorising with a Y.
Perfect.
Which is why I'm a bit excited.
We can bring that in because, I was going to say a terrorizing goddess with some sort of characteristic, I guess, if we're trying to bring that word in too, is, ripe for any sort of game. But if she's a wrestler, that's just amazing.
Yes! Oh, we're on the right page already.
So I'm picturing almost, do you remember like the game Black and White where you had your giant creature and sort of roaming the countryside? It's basically that, but it's this woman in full wrestling getup, and I don't know, she's like...
Maybe she doesn't have a personality and she's looking for characteristics. She got stripped from a gimmick. She used to be this amazing wrestler and she lost her gimmick.
Yep, in like the Heaven League of,
of WWE or WCW, whatever it is now.
HWE or something, HWF, I don't know. I don't actually know anything about wrestling, but...
There's like 100 different promotions. If you just throw out like 3 different letters,
so
it's
it
probably
doesn't really,
something.
The acronym doesn't matter. So totally, it's this. She's a cast out goddess from heaven. She's down on earth, and she's trying to find her new persona so she can make her way back into the league.
It's like a take on Hercules.
Yes. So what are the game mechanics here, other than like pile driving windmills and?
Is it open world?
I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have that like Shadow of the Colossus feel where you're really like traversing these like landscapes.
Well, maybe it can be like an because as a goddess, I'm picturing that she's basically giant. Maybe all the townspeople and stuff are constantly trying to climb you and reach your weak point. I don't know.
Oh my god, you play as the villain?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I just
Terrorising towns. I
Oh,
reckon
I
that's
guess
that's
you're
pretty
just
awesome.
terrorizing. It's true. Yeah, you're terrorizing. So maybe you need a certain amount of villager blood to
No.
to achieve your goal.
It's like what was the Pimp My Ride game? The way that it works is that
Wait.
you have to drive around town and hit people to steal their money in your car, and then you can go into the actual customized mini game inside the game to pimp whatever ride, whatever job you currently have. And then when you're done, you're like back on the streets to kill people to steal their money.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I can't. I'm surprised enough that there was a Pimp My Ride game, and I had not heard of that. I feel like that's. I'm not sure of exactly why, but it feels vaguely racist that that's what you have to do to. I don't know. Anyway, off track.
I'm going to stay in Switzerland on this issue.
Yeah, and that's probably a bit early to go into anything like that. Yeah, I like the terrorizing goddess. That's cool.
Imran, do you remember, like, was that Pocket God or Mini God? It was one of those, like, super early iOS games.
iPhone games, yeah.
And you could, like, turn the phone around upside down and, like, all the little, like, islanders would be like, they're, like, clinging to the island and you're shaking it so they all fall off.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
So in VR, it'd be actually kind of awesome,
I
being
hadn't
able
even...
to pick up the townspeople and throw them into the ground and all that.
I hadn't even thought of it in
pick 'em
VR,
off the
although
body.
it's going to be really difficult to emulate wrestling moves in VR. Like,
I get asked this question a lot, actually. Someone
to
asked
do
me if they
wrestling?
could suplex someone else in VR, and I was like, it doesn't work like that.
Well, you could, but there's no like.
You'd have to suplex them in real life, but then you'd both be wearing headsets and holding controllers, so it's
yeah,
very...
you'd end up strangled around the Vive cord or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, not for long, hopefully.
Well, as long as they tap out, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta play fair.
All right, that was pretty good.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Click.
Ledge.
Misunderstood.
Circumvent.
Okay. My very first thought is an anthropomorphic ledge. Like, it's literally just the edge of, I don't know, a building or a cliff. And I guess you have to circumvent it in some, or people are trying to circumvent. That's as far as I got.
Well, circumvent can be like the gameplay goal, is that you have to...
Well,
it could be a puzzle game. You have to navigate your way around this ledge.
Wait, so okay, so are you playing? So the anthropomorphic ledge is maybe the antagonist then, and you're playing some sort of being.
Ooh, like a maze that like shifts.
It's kind of like it's a bit like the cave, where it speaks to you, but it's just a sort of a static thing.
It tries to get you to jump off, but it turns out that it's just misunderstood.
Okay, so it's a purely psychological thing. Like, it literally can't move, and you, but it just tries to convince you.
Oh yeah,
Tries to
like
convince you.
don't go around that corner. Like, you don't want to see what's around that corner, and you're like, no, I don't want to go, but there's nothing there. It's
now I want to reverse psychology.
That's true. I think in my case, I'd be like, I've just shut down the game.
Well, I don't know. I think there's a bit of an aspect of Stanley Parable there, right? Where you can totally play. You can play around with.
So good.
Yeah, you can play around with this ledge, like trying to mess with you, and different things happen. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's. So I'm thinking it's a 3D game. It's literally all set just on the edge of.
I think it's got to be a skyscraper.
A skyscraper? All right. So maybe you start the game, you find yourself out on this ledge. So you're wondering what the hell you're doing there. If we make it a VR game, like, there's the aspect of like height, like immersion of being up high, right? So it's gonna be disconcerting right away.
What if your character is someone who's about to jump, but then when when the game starts, is that moment before you jump?
Yeah, totally. And so the player doesn't quite know what they're doing there, but there are some sort of clues or something about that you're going to jump. As soon as you try to do anything, the ledge starts talking to you.
Tries to circumvent you from
ledge.
jumping.
Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah, that's it. It's trying to circumvent your goal to jump to your death. So, it might be a little bit dark.
It reminds me of the first Portal in a way. By the way, I'm a massive Portal fan. It's my favorite game. I have a tattoo of it. That moment, I don't blame you. Yeah, that moment in the last chamber where you come around that corner and it's just the fire and Gladys is like, goodbye. And then that moment where you're like, no, I can change my destiny.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be a huge challenge to come up with the dialogue and stuff, but as usual, we leave that to the developers. Like, we're just coming up with the ideas.
Oh, you need to legit write
What are the gameplay elements?
What are the gameplay elements?
There's got to be more than just being able to just jump. Maybe
there's always the option to just jump. I mean, you could make it really tense. Like if you're doing room scale, then like literally if you just walk off the edge, then you lose the game.
Or do you?
At any point. Or do you, exactly. At any point. I don't know. I'm not sure how it would work in room scale. Can you, like, walk off the edge and then turn around and grab the ledge? That could be really disconcerting. But
there is a VR game called Climby, which kind of simulates...
Oh, I have seen, like, footage of that, yeah.
We actually did a test with our entire...
pull yourself up.
Yeah, we did a test with our entire team to see actually who could... stand like being in a like very heavily accelerated VR for the longest time. A couple people just they could barely do it for about 20 seconds. But I did the best. Nearby. Yeah. Oh wow. Which is strange for me because I get really bad motion sickness in cars, like travel sickness. But I did really well in the VR with acceleration, so I don't know.
I mean, I haven't experienced much VR at all, but I feel like that's almost a slightly different type of experience, like sort of the. I mean, I know they're related, but like the motion sickness from in a car versus the motion sickness that you
the core mechanic in Climby is that you actually use your hands to like fling yourself. That's the movement.
Yeah, I've seen the footage. You grab onto the world
the air
and like
then
pull yourself forward.
It's almost like you're skiing, honestly. Except instead of like going forward on skis, you're just like flying in the air. So it could be. Yeah, I'm wondering, cause I like the ledge idea, but it's like how, what is do you climb up the building? If you're on a building, can you go back in the window
that could
the
be
way
cool.
you came?
If you're climbing up, and I'm getting almost a labyrinth, like the movie Labyrinth feeling from it, like you're climbing up the building and each ledge is talking to you as you're going. So it reminds me of that scene where she's like falling down the hole and there's all the hands. So you're like climbing up or down, I guess. And
like
as
each
you
ledge
go,
has a different personality?
Yeah, there's also different personalities of these ledges as they sort of...
Oh my god, what if one's like, I really like you, please don't leave me? And you're like, I can't stay on this ledge forever.
Yeah, this does have a real Portal feeling, I think, with that personality of voiceover sort of stuff, doesn't it? Like, you could do some really cool stuff with that. Yeah, I like that. I'm not sure how you would develop that into a full game. But I think there are some cool ideas there, and I'm not sure.
There are so many VR experiences that are like 15 minutes long, and people are making bank off it. So
that's it. Like the game mechanics could literally just be climbing up and down the building and talking to ledges. And one of them is Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Although I guess we probably can't.
And how you win the game is if you actually figure out how to circumvent the building.
There you go.
So
they
you
get
have
to
to
the
get
top or the
behind
bottom, or around it. Okay,
around it instead of up or down.
Yeah.
You just walk around the building.
That's it. Like it's one of those things nobody would expect that that's what you need to do. They think up or down, but cool. All right, I think let's do another one.
3, 2, 1, click.
My word is remission.
Mine is living.
Magnetizing.
Cancer is involved in some way. How do we not make this a terribly dark and sad game?
Well, I mean, remission can also mean debt, so it could be a monetary game. It could be a Monopoly.
That's true. Living, remission, magnetizing. I feel like I heard magnetizing and I thought of like MRI, brain cancer.
Oh, God.
What I'm thinking of is that your character, whoever you're playing, can like be magnetized or demagnetized. So it's like depending on what you have, like either money coming at you to pay your debts, or if you're demagnetized, all the money just like when you like put a magnet
blast
in
away
the middle
from
of
you.
something, everything just like like
Yeah. Okay, I like that better than the cancer idea. I feel like there's more we can do with that.
I think anything would have been better than the cancer idea.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we would. I'm not sure we're quite good enough to pull off a cancer game. Okay, yeah, that works. All right, so it's basically, is it like a platformer then? The cancer game, yeah. We'll still call it the cancer game, but it's actually just got to do with money. Because money, like, I don't know, it's like a satirical
capitalism
statement.
Capitalism is cancer.
Yeah, exactly. This is our political, satirical game. Mm-hmm. You're a politician. And you magnetize yourself and pull all the money in, and that's the whole game.
You were talking about cancer. Well, when cancer goes into remission, it's actually a very good thing. It means that you are living.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's that you're a politician, that you've just been given the all clear on your cancer, so now you've decided to go out and start living, and then a freak accident magnetizes you, and
yes, like a really bad superpower.
You can either magnetize things at will or not.
Yeah.
Or not. My superpower is that I cannot magnetize things if I like.
Well, demagnetize it. So it's like you pick up like a
this magnet no longer sticks to the fridge.
Well, I'm thinking you pick up like a metal trash can lid, and you magnetize it, and you attract the gun to it, and then you demagnetize it, and it falls down.
So it like flings off and hits someone in the face.
Blast it away from you.
Reverse the polarity of the trash can lid.
Yeah, that's it. I guess it's the difference between demagnetizing, as in making something not magnetic, versus reversing the direction of the magnetizing and repelling something.
We could
away
also
from you.
translate this to some kind of stealth game, but instead of demagnetizing items, you're like demagnetizing or magnetizing light.
Wait, light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know how stealth games is like you're in some kind of like some room. It's like a room escape kind of thing, and then there's like guards that are walking around and they have their flashlight. You can't get into the light. I don't actually know how this will work. Yeah, you have to avoid them. But you can magnetize.
4 different
but you're in complete darkness. So you're in complete darkness. You can't actually see anything unless you magnetize the light from the guards. But
because that could give you an interesting thing where you rely on the guards to see, but you also don't want to be caught by them, right?
Yeah, we're getting really away from living and remission.
That's all right.
I don't know.
We let the ideas go where they'll go, I suppose. Are you still a politician? That's the question.
Yes,
I think so.
Of course.
Politicians are pretty sneaky.
Oh, what if you did something really bad and you have to get through Parliament to get to your office at night to destroy these documents?
Well, actually, and so you don't even have this magnetizing, demagnetizing suit. You're just trying to get there to magnetize your hard drive and erase all the evidence.
The emails.
Yeah, it's like erase all those emails to what is it, Transfield. We're not dealing with the concentration camps on Nauru anymore.
Oh God! Now it's getting dark.
I'm just thinking that you're going in, sneaking into like your parliamentary office to wipe the hard drives that have all the receipts for your helicopter rides or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what? If I ever do another game jam, I'm just going to go through all of your episodes and take one of those ideas.
That's what we're here for. Yeah.
These are all fantastic game jam ideas.
We welcome any game jams that want to steal utilize our ideas.
Yeah, not steal.
No,
just credit.
You're welcome. Like I said, you're welcome. All right, that was all over the place. I think there were some good ideas in there though. But let's do another one. Okay. Because I think we've wrung all the goodness out of that idea that we can.
3, 2, 1, click.
Barbarian.
Physical.
Testify.
Okay. So
the entire soundtrack is just Kanye West.
Oh God.
So you're a really buffed up priest.
Okay, I like where this is going already.
And you're trying to convert people to your religion by flexing.
Oh, absolutely. That's called wrestling.
There you go. Perfect. It's kind of true. Yeah, that could be. It's just yet another wrestling persona, isn't it? The physical barbarian.
Yeah, but I'm actually seeing it as an old, like, late 80s, early 90s 2D platformer.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the character is in their late 80s, early 90s, but he's still just, like, super buff.
Like Jack LaLanne style.
Yeah, but it's just
That's
a long
literally
beard.
the guy who owns WWE.
Really?
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll stop dropping wrestling references.
That's okay.
So it's late 80s, early 90s 2D platformer.
Yeah, so 2D platformer, and his skill is preaching at people, flexing, and just general, like, Double Dragon style beat 'em up.
Well, wait, he's a priest. He can't be beating people up, surely. Maybe you have to do everything by flexing and preaching.
Yes! That's like the only two skills you have.
That's his skills. You level them up in different ways. You get different costumes and bigger crosses and...
I'm just imagining the combos. Preach, 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 flex, preach, flex,
Yeah.
flex, preach,
Press
flex.
press X to preach.
What is it Halo or Call of Duty where they had that, like, press X to... It was, like, really controversial.
Oh, it was like press X to pay respects to your friend or something.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I just
X
got
to
the
flex.
picture.
Yeah.
Justine's just sent us a lovely picture of what I assume is Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Chains or anything.
Very large chain around
that's
his
it.
neck.
Yeah. So picture him with a, white collar, black robe. We'll license his likeness for the game.
I'm thinking a black, t-shirt with the arms cut off, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Black t-shirt. Yeah, black t-shirt, no sleeves, white collar.
Yeah.
And when he
so
does
is
his
he going
special
up
move, he
against the
tears it
forces
off.
of hell?
I mean, who else do priests fight other than the forces of hell? So, yeah. Obviously, Trevor.
So therefore, he can do the preach, holy water, flex.
Is it a beat 'em up and you just get hordes of atheists like running at you?
Just throw Bibles
And then like
at
the
him.
boss at the end of the level is like different levels of Satan.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was Richard Dawkins. Yeah. I don't, are we going to atheist or are we going to demon spawn? Because there's not that much.
Why not both?
I think you'd have both.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Charles Darwin is like the mega evil boss.
Yeah. Yes, he's like the final boss. And then he turns
That's
into
why
Satan.
he died. That's how it happened. It's evolution.
See, you got a special move where it is a combo move. You pour holy water all over yourself and then flex, and it just like blasts out.
That's a lot. And then as you flex, like your entire like outfit just like rips off, and you're just like this shining beacon of light.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the God rays coming down, God's light just beaming off your holy water oiled
Glistening
body.
pecs.
You did well, my son. Roll credits.
Perfect. All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Okay.
That's the end.
We'll never improve on that.
No, that's the ultimate. That's it.
Okay, bending.
Suburban.
Channeled.
Oh, okay. These are interesting.
I'm feeling like a middle-aged like yoga instructor.
Okay. Yep.
She's channeling the chakras.
Right.
Okay.
What was the first word?
Suburban.
Yeah,
Mine was
yeah.
Suburban.
Suburban.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense.
Yoga. It's just We Fit Yoga.
So no, I'm actually seeing it as like a late 80s, early 90s 2D beat 'em up. She's
Come on.
just doing
No,
just doing yoga poses and bending and stuff.
So she's just the female character in the previous game.
No, she's not
No.
going to against atheists. She's going against, I don't know, little men.
I'm pretty sure atheists are probably still fighting at someone
little
who's
sauerkraut
doing yoga
Nazis
and
or
channeling
something like
chakras. No, I like the idea. Yes, because presumably you're bending energy in some way.
Now I'm going like really basic, where like this is literally just like an app for casual gamers, which is Suburban Moms. Oh, what if it's a match 3? Match 3 of yoga poses.
Yeah, okay. And you're bending. Wait, what are you bending?
Downward dog.
3 downward dogs.
Match 3 downward dogs in a row, and
any combo.
do you have to do the poses when you match them? Like, I feel like it'd be hard to see the screen. Maybe if it's on a portable game, I guess you're just holding it out in front of you as you downward dog, or
I don't think it really matters with match 3 games as long as you're matching 3 of something.
Has anyone actually done like a VR yoga game yet?
No, I don't think it'll work because like
not until we're tracking feet as well.
Well,
Yeah.
there was actually something on Kotaku or Polygon the other day that actually showed soon we're going to be able to track feet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean, you could do it.
I didn't
You
know
could
that.
do it now with a few extra, whatever you controllers.
They're developing
I'm sure.
VR gloves, which I would prefer first before we get VR feet.
Yeah.
But you could just imagine how awesome VR feet would be. And, you chuck a Kinect camera in there and you can track the skeleton. That's fine. Just extra technology for people to buy.
You
That's
actually.
what we really like for Township Tale, actually, because right now
Yeah.
the characters are just like floating torsos, and you move like you can sit on the ground, but it's just your torso is just like closer to the ground.
I'm pretty sure that if you're tracking feet, and then all you'd actually need to track is like hips, and you could probably approximate where a body is pretty accurately from what I've seen and read.
Depending on how realistic the rig is, yeah, you could absolutely do it. But when it comes to basic rigs, like we've been experimenting with some stuffs with rigging in a Township Tale currently, and it's just hard. Like, depending, you'd need someone to actually come in and really develop the rig really well. So when you hold the controllers close to wherever you are, the elbows aren't like completely deforming and
Go through the body.
I've seen it done.
Pretty
Though.
much.
I've seen it done pretty well, and I imagine you can do a similar thing for.
I studied 3D
For legs and
at
such.
college, and when we were doing rigging stuff, it's just like, and when you start animating, it's really fun to just be like, just tessellate the hand vertice around, and then just like see the elbow going like fucking crazy. And then sometimes you'll render something, and it's like that looks good, and then you render it out, and like just like it looks like a really bad like game glitch where just like all these things like your knees are flickering everywhere, and it's like, what is going on?
It's polygons.
What
going
did I
in every
do?
direction.
That polygon became everything.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't do that anymore. It's just anyway, we're getting really off track.
Yeah, let's
Yep. So
let's do another one. I think.
back to the match
Oh, you know
3
what-
yoga
oh.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm actually
Okay,
quite invested in this. The
Alright,
inner
alright.
So-
suburban mum in me is coming out.
I'm seeing that when you select your yoga poses from your match 3 thing, if you get a continuous combo going on of the same pose, like you get almost like a multiplier or something, and she's
Wait. So how do you match
see like
3?
the character in the background?
Are you saying?
What do you mean?
Well,
Oh.
is it possible that you have to do the pose to match, like to remove blocks from the
What if
grid?
there's
Or
just
something?
a character in the screen game, and you're matching 3
Yeah, we're not in
of
the VR
chakras?
version anymore.
Yeah, we're not in the VR version. And what if you're
okay.
matching 3 of chakras to make the in-game character do yoga poses? And like
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and
the more
and if you're matching
combos
the
you
same-
get, like the more ridiculous it gets.
you just see the little avatar of your selected suburban mum, because you can choose a whole heap of different ones.
Okay, yeah, of course. Obviously, I don't know why you guys are laughing.
Yeah, I think this would actually be a really, really good iOS game or Android. I think it
Yeah, we
would
can
make Candy Crush numbers.
Oh, definitely.
I cannot tell you how many contractors I've come across, and they're like, we just want to make the next Candy Crush. I'm like, do you have like $2 million and also 20 psychologists to become game developers?
Oh yeah, you gotta get that gambling addict in everybody to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, microtransactions and the like.
So are we letting people unlock new poses and unlock their chakras?
I wish I knew more about yoga. I don't know enough about yoga to like, because I know there's some crazy poses out there.
Yeah, I'm a bit out of my depth on yoga, I gotta say.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's do another.
I think it does actually have legs though. Like,
you're holding on to this one, are you, Troy?
Have legs.
Oh, the match 3 would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can continue. 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, that was so sad. 3, 2, 1, click.
Waitress.
Kneel.
Mesmerized.
Okay. A kneeling, mesmerized waitress?
Oh, please
You
don't
could
turn
really
this
go
into
with a really
weird
bad
sex
place
game.
there.
God. That could go in some horrible directions, but let's steer it away from there. So you're a waitress who on her off hours is studying to be a hypnotist.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
And I'm not sure where the kneeling comes in, but
We'll get there.
yeah, we'll figure that
We'll
out.
get there, keep going.
So why does a waitress want to hypnotize people?
Because she
better
wants to
tips?
sell more coffee.
Yeah,
No,
better
well, it's
tips?
the same thing as like being an actress. So it's like, that all the actors and actresses have to, do wait staff training, between. She's an aspiring hypnotist.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so it's set in a diner or a restaurant of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, I'm thinking that maybe day one you've only got a couple of little things that you can do hypnosis wise, like maybe you can talk someone into buying
to giving
an
you
extra
better tips.
plate of
into upsizing their chips, to a large. Yeah.
because it's got to be based in America, and the minimum tip is like 15%. So the larger the
larger the
meal
bill,
is, the more the
the
bigger
larger the
tips
bill,
are.
the more the dough.
Yeah. Okay. No, there's an interesting sort of there's an interesting mechanic there, because it's not only getting them to spend more, but obviously they might tip a higher percentage based on performance or how good your service is. So there are a couple of levels there.
Oh, but your boss really her boss really hates hypnosis, because they had a very bad experience when they were younger. And figuratively, if you get caught, the waitress has to kneel to his demands and not do hypnotizing things.
I think a figurative kneeling is definitely the way to go in this game. So that's
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no!
okay. So yeah, no, I like that. So you can use your hypnosis powers, but you have to do it sort of when your boss isn't watching or when nobody sees you manipulating these people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm picturing kind of. Have you guys played Overcooked?
No, what's that?
Yes, I have.
Yes, we played it together. I'm sort of picturing just that sort of top-down view of like you've got a bunch of tables and you have to sort of go to the kitchen and you have to grab the food and you have to take to the right table. And that could almost just be the main gameplay, right? You've got different challenges, things get spilled,
But you have to
avoid them or jump
unhypnotize
over them.
the customers before they leave.
Yes, or like go out clucking like chickens.
Yeah.
And you get
Well, I'm always thinking that you could have when you drop the food off at their table, you have like a little rhythm game, sort of like you got to hit A B A Y.
to like
X,
put down the
B.
meals.
And yeah, and it's sort of like
It's like throwing
And
the plates onto the table in the right order and the drinks and the.
and if you do that, then you get the chance to hit the 2 trigger buttons and you go into hypnosis mode, something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. Well, it at least the better you do at waitressing, the more it like builds your hypnosis meter, which you can use to influence people to leave higher tips. Yeah, okay. All right. I really like the actual game mechanics of this, because the longer someone's waiting for their food, they've all got little meters over their head that's slowly going down as they wait for their food, and that's their tip level. Like that's how much they're going to tip you.
Yeah.
But if you hypnotize them into thinking that you didn't take as long,
yeah, you can basically undo that and you can raise that meter up by hypnotizing them, so they'll leave you a bigger tip. Except you can't do that when your boss is watching, because then he comes over and chastises you. You lose time. The other tables are waiting longer, so it's this real balancing act.
I do like that it's like a live action management game.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of running around. And there are all sorts of obstacles, a kid drops his spaghetti on the floor and you trip over it. And
You can no longer go that way because no one's come to clean it up yet. So you've got to go a different route around the
Can
restaurant.
you hypnotize the kid to clean up his own mess?
Well, I wish. If you figure that out, teach me, because my kids don't clean up their mess.
I think later on in the game, you actually find out your boss's trigger word that turns him into a chicken from his earlier hypnosis. Incident.
Or if you just raise your hypnosis meter enough, you can hypnotize the boss, and there's some benefit from that. I guess he's
Is that how you win
not
the level?
Maybe, yeah. You have to hypnotize your boss to let you go home early.
Otherwise, you're just working constantly.
You're just working non-stop. It's like
J4.
Double shift, triple. Yeah, exactly. That's actually real. You're just getting more haggard, and you've got a how sore your feet are meter that just is continuous.
You get coffee for a quick pick me up.
Yeah, but you have to spend some of your tips to buy the coffee because your boss is an asshole and makes you buy it. So again, there's sort of another game mechanic balance. I really like that. I think that's actually the best sort of actual game we've come up with so far. It's really cool.
On that note, I think it's time to move into the Eye of the Storm. You can find us on Twitter. We are at Lamestorming.
You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/lamestorming.
You can email us, podcast@lamestorming.com.
We are on iTunes. If you'd like to go there and leave a review, that would help us a lot, or subscribe to us so you can get notified of our new episodes.
You can also check out our website, lamestorming.com.
We'd also like to thank Kuridas, the band responsible for the opening and closing track, Mount Defiance.
We'd like to plug Zencastr, ZENCASTR. They've provided us with the guest recording today. So that was really, really good. So that's Zencastr.com.
And we'd also just like to plug our other podcast, Two Sweary Dads, which is a parenting podcast. You can find that at twoswearydads.com. And Justine, is there any sites or Facebook URLs you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I have a few. So, first and foremost, if you want to find out more about A Township Tale, you can go to townshiptale.com. We have a little sign-up gimmick thing. If you put your email into that and join our newsletter and join our little community, I do all the sending out of things, and we tell you when we're going to be at conventions where you can play the game. I send out a lot of questions sometimes about opinions and feedback and stuff, and you can also, depending on, let us know if you have a Vive or Oculus headset, because we will be coming out with our closed alpha in the coming months, and we need people to play that. So if you sign up, then you can possibly be one of those lucky people that get to play A Township Tale before anyone else does. Other ones, if you want to follow A Township Tale on Twitter, we're at Township Tale, and then for our company Alta, we are Real Alta on Twitter, and in Facebook, if you look up Alta VR, we should come up there. If you want to follow me personally, literally all I tweet about is wrestling. However, if you're interested in that at all, you can follow me at Pasta Saucer. So it's like pasta sauce, but the ending E is an A. It was an in joke. It's very catchy, I feel.
I like it. And yeah, we'll put all those links in the show notes as well for anybody who wants to do that.
Awesome.
Great. All right. Let's continue. Get a few more in. Shall we click?
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Click. Affiliate.
My word is parchment.
Mine was betide, which I've just looked up means happen or to happen to someone.
Betide? Okay. Wait, so what was yours, Trevor?
Affiliate.
Parchment, affiliate, betide. What is with
So
these
a
words this
parchment
week?
just
Alright.
happens.
A parchment just
Well, I
is.
mean, it's kind of like a Death Note thing, right? You write something in there and something happens to someone.
Well, so the only mechanic I'm getting out of this is like, yeah, literally writing or drawing something on a piece of paper, on something, and making
It's
something
like-
happen.
It's like draw something, but you add on to the existing. So, like, one of us draws something, and then we pass it on
Okay.
to the next person, and they change it.
Oh, that's cool. So maybe you
but
get
it's
like
almost
a
like
certain
Pictionary,
amount.
so it's like it's
You've
not
got a
only...
certain amount of ink you can use or
Oh,
something. So
yeah.
you can only draw like limited lines, and the next person has to just continue. So is the goal? I guess the goal is to draw a particular concept or thing, but yeah, you have to start really vague because you've only got 10 centimeters of line worth of drawing that you can do, and then you have to pass it on to someone else. And so do they? I guess they don't know what the word is. It's almost like Pictionary telephone.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh,
what if
God.
it's like if you play with like at least 4 people, so and everyone? Because have you played it's like Funhouse or Toy Box Funhouse? I don't know. It's a Steam like collection of party games.
Yeah, Jackbox.
Yeah, Jackbox, and you play
Yeah.
the draw something one, and that is that you
Yep.
play off your phone. So it's like if
Yep.
you have at least a group of 4, it goes through 3 people, maybe even twice, to draw something, and then the
Yep.
4th person has to guess what it is.
Yes,
But only one person got the prompt.
Oh.
well, yeah, because I like this idea of
what if
of
everyone gets a
passing.
different idea, and then at the 4th person gets like 3 options, and whoever
Oh, actually, I
whoever,
like that. You're almost competing then
yeah,
to turn the drawing into
Whatever
whatever your
thing-
prompt
yeah.
was. Actually, that's really good. That's
this
really
is actually
good.
a genuinely really good idea for a game.
Yeah, I could see this working really well. So you get a limited amount of either time or ink or whatever to draw your picture. So you have to sort of draw it in as few lines as possible. But then the next person gets to come on, add things to that drawing to try to make whoever's going to be guess whatever their prompt was versus whatever the original person was trying to do.
Yeah.
God, I would play that.
That's
game
really cool.
so
That's
much.
really cool. That could totally be a Jackbox party pack
Yeah.
game. Because you could all draw at the same time because you're all starting one, and then it basically mixes them all up, and you get someone else's. You get to add to it while other people are adding. Someone else is adding to yours, and then you all have to guess. You all have to guess at the end somehow.
The best thing is that if it was one at a time, but it showed it on the big screen, like on the television, what was happening in real time, and just the rage that would happen from the people no, if it was like a monkey or something, and someone erases the tail, you're like no.
Well, I was going to say maybe as the person who started it, you not only do you have a limited amount of ink to draw it, you have a limited amount of erasing that you can do while the other person is drawing. So you can erase some of their lines either
That could be
during
the
or
reward
after.
for winning a round is you get erase time.
Yeah, you get erase time. I could see that.
that's awesome.
I could see that being really funny. That's really cool.
Oh my God.
I'm amazed that we got that idea out of those 2 words, but that's really cool.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Click.
Timekeeper.
Snob.
Engorge.
Okay. I feel like this is ripe with possibility. I haven't quite grasped onto any of those possibilities yet, but I feel like these are all good words for games. Maybe
I mean,
not
is it
Engorged,
like
but...
are you the timekeeper or not timekeeper? But the 7 deadly sins, there's glutton, right?
Right, okay. So it's a vor game. No, well, I was thinking, so Snob and Timekeeper just makes me think of someone who's really into pocket watches or something. And I don't know, there could be some sort of collection or time mechanics around. I don't know. No, I don't. Quite know.
Engorging himself on lots of food.
Well, what happens if you engorge time?
Oh.
What? And you're trying to go around steal time from the other?
Oh, you
all the
like
people
you gorge yourself on time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you could, all right. So you could have some sort
turning people into skeletons and stuff by stealing all their life
You
force.
steal their time and you get fatter. Like you engorge yourself.
Oh my god, this reminds me.
their
Okay, so
times.
when I was in college, one of the games, it was like, we had like a mini game project, and I think it was, one of the themes was it to be an educational game or something. So what they did is they tried to create like an educational, like healthy kids game where it was like a 2D platformer and there was good food and bad food. And the more bad food you ate, the fatter you got, but the more good food you ate, the skinnier you got. But it was way more fun just to eat all the bad food and watch the character get really, really fat.
Did you forget to like put a limit on how fat you could get, so you just end up filling the entire level and crashing the game?
It's just so funny.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of that.
All right.
So I'm thinking, you could actually have a guy who's, sort of an upper class British guy with a pocket watch, and he's a bit of a snob.
Yep.
But he's worked out how to steal time from people, and maybe he's the bad guy.
Mm.
This doesn't have to be the protagonist. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
You've got another.
Does he still get fatter the more time he steals? Is that where we're going with it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. But he's also like really, really young.
Young?
So, yeah, he's young. But
right.
fat.
Because of all the time he's stealing.
Because of all the time he's stealing.
Okay.
Maybe he's been living for.
Yeah. So it's like
for
an
lots of
immortality
years,
game.
and your maybe your girlfriend had time stolen from her, and you're trying to get the time back from this snob.
So the bad guy is this time stealing snob who's really fat because they've stolen all this time, and you're trying to get time back from him through what means? Like, what sort of game is this?
So, should it be a Grand Theft Auto clone, or should it be...
No, I'm thinking kind of a third...
Maybe a 2D platform.
No, I'm thinking like a third-person sort of adventure-y, Tomb Raider-y style. Like, not completely linear, but not fully open world. And I mean, there's got to be some time-based mechanics in here. So maybe you're like... You're chasing...
The Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the sort of direction I'm going, but we need to differentiate ourselves from it somehow.
I do like the idea that you're trying to get time back for someone.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see where the game mechanic comes from.
Because that's your...
Other than it just being a Double Dragon clone.
Because that's your countdown then, right? Like, they've got a certain amount of time before they die, and if you manage to get time back, you sort of stave that off for a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't know where to go gameplay-wise.
Have you guys seen the game Half Minute Hero?
No.
Yes. You have to, like, do RPG levels in, like...
in 30 seconds.
30 seconds or something.
There's another game called McSomething, and it's like you play...
Oh, McPixel.
McPixel, yeah.
That's really good. That's really fucking funny, that game. You've got like 3 seconds in
yeah.
in every
So
level.
I'm thinking almost even Crazy Taxi style, where you'd do something and you get a little bit of time extra.
Yeah.
And
okay. Yeah, because I was thinking something a bit slower, but you're right. Like if you're racing against time, it needs to be something really quick. So it's going to be a bit dark, but like there's literally someone dying, and yeah, like that Crazy Taxi mechanic of every time you achieve something, you get a little bit more time for them, and they just get a little bit further away from death. But you've just got this countdown going the whole time.
You could implement that into like a Heavy Rain type of game where it's very story based.
Oh, you could that, yeah. And so you're sort of just having to do. Are you thinking even like the quick time events? If you screw them up, then you might just lose more time.
Yeah.
And maybe you are the snob trying to get the time back for your girlfriend. And there's your link.
Well, actually, that would work really, because Heavy Rain is. I mean, there's sort of a set story, but there are a lot of little like choices you can make that branch in different ways. But like, who really actually plays through multiple times? Like, I think it's not that many people.
Mm.
But if it's literally that you're running low on time, and your chances are you're not going to get to the end, as long as you put enough sort of branching choices in there, you could play it over and over. see different things. But also the better you play, the more likely you are to actually sort of finish it before and save whoever.
Oh, the quicker you finish it, the less bad things happen to your partner. But, the longer it takes, they might stay alive, but they might lose a limb.
Yeah. There's something spreading through their body, some sort of disease, and
that isn't cancer.
No, it's going to be something. Anyway, something spreading through their body. Yeah, the faster you get to it, the less of their body.
But it's not like
destroys.
Life is Strange in the way that you can actually fix the mistakes that you make. It's more that you're just like the better you are at the game, the less horrible things are going to happen to you.
Yeah, I feel like it should almost be like an entire playthrough should maybe be like 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. But there's just a lot of branching options that you can take, so it doesn't get super repetitive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking just to sort of take this in a slightly twisted way. Say you're a guy who's stealing time from some of these other people. Maybe when you get to the end, as part of the branching thing, you've decided which way you're going to go and who you've deemed unworthy to have more time. But then you play a relative of
each time
a scene of a relative of one of those people that you've stolen time from.
Just like make you feel really bad.
just to really show that the choices that you made, did actually have.
I guess that's true, because you need to be taking time from other people. So there's some moral decisions to be made here as to who you take that time from, and that can be some of the branching narrative, right? You're right.
Yeah.
Right? Take you in different sort of moral directions.
I like that.
3, 2, 1, click. Splintering.
Thunderbolt.
I don't know what this word is, but it's syllabafying. Where's the definition here? Forming or dividing words into syllables.
Oh, okay. So
there's the
splintering. Splintering. Okay, so splintering, Thunderbolt, and syllabafying, which is splitting words into syllables. Mm-hmm. So it's an educational game of some kind where you play Zeus. Throwing light. So the very basic gameplay is teaching kids about syllables, but you get to throw lightning bolts which split the words up, splinter the words into their syllables.
Could it be a rhythm game, but you're learning words?
Oh, that could be cool.
Okay, so should it be a VR rhythm game where you get to throw thunderbolts?
You throw thunderbolts in time with the music, but you have to... Well, I guess... I mean, the splitting up into syllables could just be singing or speaking the words if you want to really... Just take it.
Well, I guess at this point it could be a language game, so it's like
you could just take that into we don't have to use the exact word, so we could take it to be it's a language game. So like throwing thunder. I guess it would be interesting to have a VR rhythm game where like your sort of broad movements are required to really to hit the beats.
Oh, what would be interesting is what's the like in an orchestra? Who's the guy at the front?
Oh, so you're playing like the conductor?
Yeah, like a conductor simulator.
That'd be cool, actually. Yeah,
in VR.
But you have a lightning bolt just because we need to bring Thunderbolt in. You're Zeus. You're conducting the orchestra
and all the
of the
different
gods.
gods and goddesses are like playing the tuba and like.
Yes. And if they don't do it well, then you throw thunderbolts at them.
Yeah, you can blast them if they fuck up. Maybe it's a multiplayer VR game. Everyone else is actually playing their own instrument, and one person gets to be the conductor and can just blast them if they screw up. I wonder how you do a tuba rhythm game. That'd be interesting. I think this is at the point. This is when we do need the VR gloves, when you can get the fingering, so you're getting the fingering right.
You literally just have to know how to play tuba.
I guess it's getting to that point.
It's not like Guitar Hero or anything. It's like when you have VR gloves, you're literally just copying real world movements. You might as well just need pick to up hit the tuba exact lessons.
Well, it's teaching. It's educational.
It's true. You don't have to. So it would be a lot cheaper than actually buying a tuba or tuba lessons.
That's true. And there's incentive because we also sell with the VR unit a shock collar. So if Zeus decides to hit you with a Thunderbolt because you don't play the tuba well enough, there's some
there are real world
physical disincentive. Yeah, it's that.
I was going to go with exactly what you said there, Ben. It's incentive.
Yeah.
Not to fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think we need another one. 3, 2, 1, click. Thermal.
Clapper.
Disarrange.
Disarrange thermal clapper.
That's the name of the game.
So I'm thinking clapper like clap on, clap off sort of thing. Turn the lights on and off. And then
Except you're turning a heater on.
Well, or I was going to say, when you turn the lights off, you get thermal vision, right? You get the thermal vision. That's how you switch from... So it's a Five Nights at Freddy's sort of thing. To turn the lights on and off, to switch between your regular view to the thermal view, you have to clap. But the clapping also attracts... there's a noise, there's a sound aspect, right? So switching between them has a consequence. I'm not sure where Disarrange comes in.
The VR gloves, because you don't really want to be clapping with a
you could do it.
A VR controller.
You could just use it.
Oh crap! I just broke it.
smash your fives together. No. You could just. It doesn't even have to be. You could just use a Kinect or something, right? Anything that has a microphone is going to detect you clapping. I'm not sure where Disarrange comes in.
What if it's a Wii Fit game? So it's you're actually
So you're on the Wii Fit board.
Yeah, and so wherever you lean is where your character goes forward, and that way your hands are free to clap.
Okay. There's not enough games out there for the Wii Fit board, so I like that direction. Because there could be, because if it's getting really tense as well, if it is a Five Nights at Freddy's sort of thing, a bit of a horror game.
Maybe Disarranges the rooms change.
Yeah, okay. The rooms sort of shift around. You lean in particular directions to move around.
Yeah.
But if the enemy, whatever it is around, you have to stay completely still and balanced.
Whoa,
and that balance board is really sensitive, so you gotta I can foresee that being really tense, where you have to stay as still as possible while this thing is stalking through whatever room you're in. And you can only see it if you're in the thermal vision. But you have to clap to get into your thermal vision, so you don't want to attract it.
You attract attention, yeah. Okay.
So there's some enemies that are like the Predator that you can only see in thermal vision, and then other enemies that you can only see when the light is on.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe. Or it's just, if the lights are off, you can't see where you're going. All you can see is the enemy. So to actually be able to move around and get to your goal, I guess, you have to have the lights on. But if you want to see where there probably needs to be some other way to get an idea of where the enemy is. Because otherwise you're just going to end up clapping to turn the thermal vision on, and it'll turn out that the bad guy's in the same room as you, and it just kills you.
Right in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's oh.
Well, but maybe it takes a while to find you. That's when you have to stay completely still.
Oh.
Since we're using the microphone, you can't breathe too loudly either.
That is a really creepy game.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever play
I don't think I could play. I don't think I'd play that.
There's never been a horror game on the Wii Fit, so I think we've really hit a niche here.
I can almost guarantee there is no Wii Fit board of horror games, so I think we're definitely breaking new ground there. There should have been, though. Come on, that's actually a great peripheral for that. If you step off it,
they can really tell if you're staying still.
They can tell if you're staying still. Nothing else. I mean, VR even can do that to some degree, but only with your hands.
Yeah.
That's particularly...
and your head, because they track
I guess
the head.
Your head, yeah. That's cool. So, Justine, what we usually do when we have a guest on is, rather than a random set of words, the name of the game you're working on, and take that as the prompt and come up with ideas for alternate versions of what a game named that, in this case, A Township Tale, could be. So that's our prompt, A Township Tale. And it's fairly broad, actually. A Township Tale could be a lot of things. So let's just blue sky it. A township's probably going to have blue sky. So,
I'm immediately thinking a pen and paper role playing game.
Yeah, we can go in that direction. So,
a board game, really. Something
or
physical.
A board game. That's cool. So you're playing. So again, I mean, this is somewhat similar to the actual VR game, but if we move it to the sort of physical space, you could have particular roles that you're playing within the town. Maybe it's like a pen and paper role playing game, or a board game where you have where you have rolls, you have cards, and or could because have you seen there are board games out there that are like deck building games, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
where each roll actually has like a completely different deck that they draw from. So if you're playing the innkeeper, then you have cards where you get to serve drinks and you get to refill the keg. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to
you get to turn away guests.
But they're like randomly within your actual hand that you're pulling from your deck. I'm not sure what the goal would be. I guess it's sort of a...
Well, there could be an overarching threat. So in 50 turns, I don't know, that feels like a long game. Well, like 50 individual turns, something like immediate, like there's I don't know, there's like 10 different disasters that could happen.
Yeah. No, that's kind of interesting. Because there are games like, and I've actually played it, but like Pandemic Legacy and stuff they're basically these sort of storytelling or challenge games where you've got a certain amount of time, or there's a time factor, and you either win it or you don't. It's like a cooperative game. I could see that working in sort of that sort of township space, and everyone's playing different roles. You all have to work together to play the right cards to have the right effects on the town too.
Because it could be like Munchkin in the way that you can form alliances with other players. So like during someone else's turn.
And then totally fuck them over later.
Yeah, so like during someone else's turn, if like, hey, I need to, I don't know, build this thing, but I only have this many resource cards, and someone can be like, oh, well, I'll lend you this.
Yeah. So almost, because there's like, to talk about resource cards, so I'm thinking of sort of Settlers of Catan sort of thing, but it's cooperative just in some way instead of purely competitive.
Almost a cooperative tower defense game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wonder if there's a map. Is there a map, like an actual physical board where you can place defenses, like build things with your cards and your resources? And
with each disaster card that is picked, there's a different kind of way that you need to build defenses. Yeah,
but you don't necessarily know what disaster's coming, maybe until it's, 10 turns out or something, and you sort of you have to scramble to start building the right things. I like
that. So you're playing in like a normal village game, and you're building these alliances or whatever, and then 10 turns from the end, you draw this disaster card, and then with the alliances that you've formed, everyone seems to have to work together. But it's like,
well, maybe
Trevor,
it's not
if
even
you
the
fucked
end.
me over at turn 3, then it's like, I'm not going to help you out. But it's like, if you don't help me, we're all going to die. And I'm like, no.
The church is going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not even that the disaster's at the end. Maybe it's like a wave-based thing. So you sort of, you're building up this town slowly, and at a certain number of turns, a disaster happens. And, depending on how far into the game you are, the severity might be of varying levels. But if you overcome that disaster, then you can sort of continue to build out in different directions, or with different types of defenses or different types of resources.
I kind of actually
and depending
like
on the
this.
disaster that happens, depends on whether you could actually have, say, a whole heap of orcs are coming to attack, so you'll know a number of turns out. But if it was like an earthquake or like the dragon attack, it'll happen a lot quicker.
Oh, okay. So it could even depend on the type of disaster as to how much notice you get. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like where that's going.
I want to play this.
We don't do many physical games. That's kind of neat.
I could see that. I'm trying to mix it up,
Yeah, definitely. No, I could see that. Like with a bit of development becoming something really interesting, where it is sort of that. Yeah, like that wave-based or like Pandemic Legacy sort of thing. Because I think they have like different seasons, like season 1, season 2 sort of thing, like a TV show where you have particular challenges you have to meet. You can almost have that sort of aspect of it where, or you buy season 2 and you get a whole bunch of different disasters and different types of resources or buildings, and which means though that you could build it onto your existing town.
Yeah.
From season 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do a real mix and match sort of thing. You could kickstart if you bring in like little you can actually like build up little towers and stuff like physically on a board. Like people will kickstart that no problem.
Yeah,
I fucking love that shit. Stretch goals, you get more little things. Like totally, Sold.
You got a little model of a blacksmith forge, and you can get add-ons to it to increase the speed in which you can build.
Yeah,
things.
absolutely. Like pop out new arrow towers, and I don't know, whatever you need to build to defend yourself from different things. Totally.
I mean, you could actually have even say the innkeeper. They've got to keep their inn reasonably well, so you can attract heroes to the town to actually help you defend.
Oh yeah,
it against...
and it's like a general morale of the town as well, sort of thing. Like the better the innkeeper's doing, you get bonuses for everybody else gets bonuses.
And there are certain disasters where, or if there's a wave that gets into a town and you have to build reinforcements, and for a little while that part of the town is out of commission, then the inn needs to be well kept enough that people can actually live there while that other part of the town is being rebuilt. Yeah,
well, you could definitely, like, different disasters or different attacks, you could take out particular buildings as well, if you haven't defended well enough, and then so the next round or before the next disaster comes along, you're having to rebuild and strategize to keep your town going.
Send your adventurers out into the local dungeon or whatever, and they come back with lots of treasure.
Well, you could even gamble, like, you don't know what the particular disaster is going to be, but if you think it's going to be some sort of orc attack or whatever, you could preemptively send out heroes or something, and maybe they can delay it, or depending on the type. And then it's like, JK, it's the plague, and you're like, no. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing the heroes can do about that. They just die. It's like, shit. Yeah, we gambled badly.
Well,
gambled wrong.
It could almost be. Remember, what was it? Castle Panic.
Yeah, where
certain things happen within the game when you pick up certain cards. So maybe you've got, say, a deck of 100 or so cards. You shuffle it up. You cut the deck, and you've got, say, however many cards you've got is how many rounds you've actually got to get through, and depending on what's in that deck depends on what happens. So the first thing that you turn up could be an earthquake. And it's like, oh shit!
It just like sets you back damage completely and destroys all the work you've done.
And it's
totally, if you balance that, random. If you balance that well enough, though, like you could do that, but you've still got a chance. You'll be at a disadvantage, but you've still got a chance to build up enough for whatever the next card that you flip over is going to be.
Yeah,
cool. I like it.
All right,
I think let's leave it there.
So, Justine, can you give us all your details again about how people can find you?
Yep.
On the interwebs?
So you can sign up to our newsletter at townshiptale.com to find out announcements and for information about our closed alpha in the future. To follow Township Tale on Twitter, it's at Township Tale. If you're interested in Alta, we're on Facebook at Alta VR. Just type that in, it should come up. And then on Twitter, we are at Real Alta. If you want to follow me personally and see all of my wrestling content, then it's at Pasta Saucer, which is like pasta sauce, but the E is an A at the end. Oh, you can also email me at any time if you have any questions about not only A Township Tale, but also the game development industry. I know there might be some people watching who are interested in game development and the industry in general, and I'm always happy to answer questions, so you can email me at justine@townshiptale.com.
And I'm gathering that you'd probably like questions about wrestling as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's probably best to hit me up on Twitter for that one.
Okay, so Justine, shall we start development?
Yes, we shall.